It's hardly a secret, if you can profit from single betting, you can enhance your bottom line through parlays. By accumulating your advantage, you're going to grow your betting bank faster. In this upload, I'm going to share with you the logic, the methodology, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. I'm Tony from Bet Analyst. Let's crack on. Let me start by saying that the opportunity for profitable parlay betting is created through massive content. Sportsbooks offer bets on a vast array of different sports and bet types. Now I'm going to give you some tips and tricks later in this video on how to find these bets and profit. While most self-proclaimed betting gurus suggest parlay betting is bad, that is because most sports bettors are losers. It's simple. If you multiply bad odds, the house will have a bigger edge. However, if you accumulate positive odds, you will actually increase your return on investment. Now, when I used to do loads of parlay bets back in the day, I was making about 22%. That compares favorably with single betting. If you are capable of finding positive EV bets but don't have an open-ended betting bank, start with system or combination bets. Right? I'm not referring to a 2 or 3-legged parlay, but anything from 5 selections or above can be broken down into segments. For example, 3 from 5 would be 10 bets and 4 from 7 35 bets. Just take your total stake size and divide it by the number of units. You can use all sorts of combinations. Now, from a mathematical stance, you can call me out for making this suggestion because we are not fully optimizing the value. However, let me just go through this, right, and explain using the typical heads or tails flip of a coin where the true odds would be 2 and 2. If you was getting the positive EV odds of 210, you would have 5% value. That would increase to 21.6% over 4 successive spins and 40.7% over 7 spins. However, the chance of hitting 7 spins on the run would be 128 times your money, and that's why you avoid it, because of the variance. At the end of the day, while we're not maxing out with the value, you're still profiting at an higher rate than doing the single bets, and that's the name of the game. All we're trying to do is take the stress out while growing the betting bank. To succeed at parlay betting, you will need to target soft books. Fortunately, there are plenty of them. In the US, most professional sports bettors focus on single betting. The reason for this is volume. It's easier to get big money down. However, with the likes of Bet365, William Hill, Caesars, DraftKings and Fanatics, it's easy to find enough value bets and benefit from parlays. Some of you might have the option to bet with PPH accounts, and if anyone can offer the same to us or our clients, we would be happy if they got in touch. As far as the UK goes, while it's not what it used to be, there are loads of soft bookmakers competing for your business. Using parlays could help with the longevity of betting accounts. Also, it's still possible to get cash down in betting shops without identification. And on that note, we have something that is extra soft, namely horse racing. Even a punter with minimal knowledge can apply each way thieving, and I'm going to share some of that with you later in this video. Now, I'm not an expert on betting in Africa, and different countries have different options. However, I can tell you many of the sportsbooks that operate in Africa are ultra soft. The advantage about betting in countries where there are not many sharp punters is obvious. Sportsbooks are there for the taking. When researching odds, I often see African-focused sportsbooks standing out from the crowd. Your job is to get your mind in the game and take advantage. Now, moving on to Finland. While I'm not going to go through each country individually, I want to share an example using the former state monopolist in Finland. The gaming operator is called Payout, and you can believe me when I say they have many standout betting odds. Let me share with you some of the examples. These odds were collected from BetMonitor, an odds comparison website with hundreds of bookmakers and up-to-date odds. So in the search for some value bets, I took these screenshots last week. You can see Frankfurt against Werder Bremen. You can see that Pinnacle odds have got 174, 422, 445, and Vikals have got 1.82. Now if we just go over to winner odds, we put those odds in, 174, 422, 445, you can see that on the left. The margin is now 3.64%. If we calculate to remove the juice, then you can see down at the MPTO, margin proportional to odds, It's now 1.7775 on the home team, right? If we now go back with the juice remove, we just tap in remove juice 1.78, so that's without any advantage. You can see we are 4 points above the Firehouse odds, and we can also back that up by just looking at the Betfair odds, which are also 1.76 with 98.7%, and that just sort of reiterates our stance that it's a value bet. And as we go over to the Middlesbrough game, they played in Oxford. You can see we created 2.2 points by just changing the 1.60 odds, pumping it into the same system. It comes out 1.648, and that compares well with the 1.67 that we get in the Firehouse. Again, it created positive odds. And then over to the last one, which is Getafe against Real Valladolid. We got 4.39 points out of this game, and we did that by removing the juice. You can see I copied in at the bottom there the MPTO. The 171 became 174.6, and it sort of left us with the 4.39 at a 100% book. Now, if we just do the treble example, and we take the true odds example, right, for 100 staked on those, which incidentally they all won, right? It paid 512.20 for 100 at true odds. So that was like the break-even point for bookmakers. But Firehouse, because of their incredibly good odds, it came to 544.05. So we gained 6.22% over the true odds by doing it through that system. Now, while Pinnacle's obviously not beneficial for betting multiples and so on, I mean, you can see the line there, it was 476. So there's some kind of proportionality there, right? We've got the 6.22%, and that's how you create the great odds. Just a quickie, if you do like this type of video, then please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. So we now come down to the nitty-gritty part of the video. How to find high value bets. We have established to succeed you should only be betting at favourable odds, and on that note, most low to mid-level professional punters use value betting software. While it comes at a cost, it's an efficient way of scanning the markets. There are hundreds of different softwares available, such as TradeMate Sport, BetBurger, OddsJam, Unabated, BookieBashing.net, and so on. For those working on a tight budget, there are free value identifiers, and most softwares offer a free trial. Be resourceful, just use your friend Google. Alternatively, you have the option to find your own bets. While this might sound tiresome, the positive angle is you actually learn something. By putting in a big effort, you will sharpen your instinct and learn to read the betting market. Finding a routine shouldn't be difficult. I even had the wife doing it for me. There are several methods for finding bets. Firstly, going cold turkey. Use an odds comparison portal such as BetMonitor, open a league and click through the match betting market. You can rearrange the ice odds to the top and see if any of your betting accounts are offering value. P.S. This works particularly well for early market betting because the odds won't be changing. This means you have time to make a plan and incorporate parlay and combination bets. A second method, use market-focused sportsbooks. Back in the day, I used Unibet Expect for benchmarking Scandinavian ice hockey and handball, and Ladbrokes for Turkish football. The object of the game is to identify which bookmakers have specialist league knowledge. Use sharp sportsbooks such as Pinnacle. Remove the betting juice, house edge, like I showed earlier in the video, and focus on finding higher odds. With liquidity, Betfair is a strong benchmarking tool. For example, on a weekend you can open all leagues and compare the odds from Betfair with bookmakers you have at hand. Take note, markets tend to be most volatile when team sheets are released, which is usually around an hour before the game. Also, big shifts happen in the last 5 minutes before kickoff when professional gamblers show their cards. In short, volatility creates the betting value. Finally, it's originator bets. Beating the market on your own back or using profitable tipsters to do the same. I won't go into detail because those who are ahead of the game will know what to do. At the end of the day, the litmus test is quite simple. If you're profiting from single betting, you can increase your profit margin with parlays and combinations. As for what you can target, I would suggest starting with opening odds. Many soft sportsbooks who release early are way out of sync. Put yourself in a position to take advantage once the sharp books release. On that note, tennis betting should become a particular target. Some of the early lines are incredibly wrong with more than 20% value. For US sports, there are many opportunities with player markets. Also, college sports such as basketball and American football can be badly wrong. Understand though, it's all about the timing, so sharpen your instincts. With UK Irish horse racing, the biggest challenge is getting money down. Use the each way concept in shops. Also, don't buy into the fallacy of odds movement with bookmakers declaring smart money is driving the market. They are full of BS and there is no such thing. With football betting, you might find value in side bets. However, for parlay combination betting, 1x2 Asian handicap totals are easier to work. In any case, don't waste your time with European handicaps, double chance, single game parlays, also known as bet builders. If you want to be successful, work hard on upgrading your knowledge and give yourself a chance with having more betting outlets. It's really that simple. So there you have it. That's about all I've got to say on this subject. It's relatively straightforward to profit from parlays if you know what you're doing, if you're getting the feed, if you're finding the advantageous odds. Now, we do have a mentorship program for semi-professionals who want to get to the next stage. Consider joining that. But that's it for now. You're through to boot camp again. Take care for now. See you soon. Bye-bye.